Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much guys for your support and turning the notifications on. If you're new here, my name is Miss Mbogwa and today I'm about to beat my face. We're about to get into this story time, guys. I haven't done one of this in so long and I miss doing them. I hope you guys miss my story times too. But before we do, I just want to say this video is sponsored by Buzzkill Chillers. I'm just playing. I saw this on Instagram. This is my second day drinking this. They are so good. They taste just like a margarita, like a pre-mixed margarita. Cheers. Sorry, I had to do my eyebrows kind of off camera for a little bit because I got a call and I had to take it. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, so when I first came to the US, I was working at a gas station. No, not when I first came to the US. If you know my story, you know my story. I came here to work at a hotel, right? That's the main reason why I came to the US. But then COVID happened and we kind of sort of lost our jobs. So my friend, who I happened to meet when I first moved to the US, God bless his soul, owns a gas station, right? So he was like, what are you trying to do? Do you have anything to do? I was like, actually, truly, I don't have anything to do. He said, you know, in the meanwhile, you can work in my gas station because that's the only thing that's close to where you live and you don't have to relocate. Yeah, so I was very grateful. I loved working at the gas station, guys. The gas station was in the hood. I met so many hood men. I don't know if I'll get banned on YouTube for using the N-word, but yeah, so I met a lot of guys and they used to flirt with me because, you know, I'm easy on the eye, right? So, nothing crazy actually that has ever happened. They just used to flirt with me, ask me out and all that. Like, you know how men are. But then there was this one guy in particular. Guys, when I tell you this guy used to insist. Like, this guy was on my case, bro. Like, I know, yes, we women, like, we do like that, right? We like when men are persistent. Because, you know, then you can be like, well, it's been a couple of weeks or it's been a couple of months and he's not giving up yet. So maybe he's like, you know, he's intentional, you know, about what he wants with me. Me. So this guy was insisting every single time. Good looking guy, not gonna lie. He used to ask for my number all the time and ask me if he can take me out and whatnot and all of that. And I like the Beyonce look when she, you know, Beyonce looks like she doesn't put a lot of makeup. But this girl on TikTok was breaking it down how you need a lot of makeup and I don't like a lot of foundation. Anyway, I can't do it that well anyway. So at point, like I was alone. I think during the day and he came in as well, was like, I don't understand, like, why do you don't want to give me a chance? And I was like, because I don't feel the same way about you. And he's like, but I have tried to show you, like, ask anyone around here, like, I really am a good dude and I know you're not from here, but I can prove it to you. I was like, but you're not really my type and I feel like at this point you should really stop insisting. But he was like, well, you know what, I'm just gonna leave you and you should think about it. So I think days went by and I was leaving the store. I had just gotten like released off my duty and then someone else came in and then I had things to do. So because at the store, of course, you can't like really dress like that. So I went inside. There was like a little changing room over there and I went to change because I was going somewhere after work. And when I was inside this, so this changing room was all the way in the back. So that store had, you know, you come in, there's that like the cashier area and there's like all this other store. So when you're at the cashier, you go outside and right outside, not a lot of people come like through the exit of the cashier like door or whatever, which is still in the store. But there was an ATM next to it. And then next to the ATM, there was like a little staff room where I used to go and change or do whatever I needed to do. So this one time I'm inside there and I'm changing and then I used to hear conversation like all the time, of course, like people being like on the phone or whatever. I've never paid attention to it. But this particular day, honey, this person, like, you know, at the ATM was just going off. And you could tell, of course, it's someone that he was in love with. He was there for a little while. I usually don't eavesdrop on people conversation. At this time, the guy was like, no, the guy at the ATM, right? Because I couldn't hear what the other person was saying, but I knew he was definitely a lover because the way he was going off on this other person, crazy. And then he was like, oh, you will never get a chance to like treat me the way that you treated me. I got a new, and he treats me better than you ever did in your stupid life. I say, you better let him know, baby. Let that man know. Of course, I could tell it was like a, man-to-man relationship because this is a man talking, obviously, and he keeps saying the N-word, So, going off and off and off, it was very clear that this guy got him all the way effed up. All the way effed up. Okay, so Mimi, now I'm like, I was like, you know what? This new N-word is gonna make me his wife. I know that's right. Better get that ring. And then I was like, I was already done, but he was at the ATM for so long. I think the conversation lasted for a good 10 minutes. As much as I've eavesdropping. And you know how sometimes when some people are just like in their conversations and they're so carried away, and especially, carried away, you don't want to like startle them with being like, like maybe they will think you were listening, maybe it's something personal. So I waited for this guy to leave. But I was like, please, I need to go where I'm going. So I opened my door and guess who I see? Guess who I see? My man who's been pursuing me for months. Flabbergasted, to say the least. I was like, what's going on? What's happening right now? So you doing the bending? And you wanted me for months. The math is not math. Wacha nikwambie. Let me tell you something. When this man saw me, he ran out of the store. His face turned red. He was a black man, but his face turned red. Like I could see the horror in his eyes. Like there was no way he imagined that there could be anyone back there. But I was, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. Wacha nikwambie. I was shocked. He was good looking. He presented himself really well. Like he had a good job. I could tell he was driving a nice car. But I've never thought that this guy was actually gay. And also, like, why are you insist? Like, I understand, like, if you're in front of your boys and you're trying to show them that, you are, you're straight, like by trying to hit at a girl one time. But even when we're alone in the store, because the way this guy was going off on that man, saying that he's about to be someone's wife, there's no way that guy's bi. That guy was all the way gay. And this is what people talk about when they say down low men. They will go to the extent of even marrying women, having kids with these women, knowing damn well they don't like women. Isn't that so crazy? I thought that's crazy. I'm not judging anyone. But I'm like, please, if you like men, why are you leading someone else on? Because let's say, for example, that I liked him. And I was like, you know what? By the way, this guy has been insisting he's serious about me, and started dating the guy and even sleep with the guy, only to come to find out that he's actually doing the bend. Like, oh, I'll be pissed, baby. I will be pissed. I will be freaking pissed. Let's talk about the DL man. Because I've heard a lot of stories about them. And I was talking to this one girl that I know very well. I'm not going to say how I know her, because I want to keep it like anonymous. So she was married to this guy and they had kids. And one time she was telling me a story of, she hey, wait, I have to get Sana because that thing can mess you up. So she was telling me, we were talking, we went out sometime and we had a drink together, and she was like, Caroline, I really want to get back into dating, but I'm just so scared. Everyone is just pretending to be someone that I'm like, girl, I've heard you say this like before. Why do you say that? Like people are just pretending to be who they're not. And she was like, it's because it happened to me. I was like, what do you mean it happened to you? And she basically told me how she, one time, she left her husband back home, and of course they left. They were going to a wedding. It was a kind of long drive. And then she told, of course, her husband, like, we'll see you in a few days, blah, blah, blah. But then she had forgotten to take something from the house. So I think 30 minutes into the drive, she had to go back. She goes back and she's like, okay, like extra car, at my house. That's weird. who's here? So anyway, she goes in the house and kitchen, outside. Like, that's kind of strange. Like, I didn't know a plumber was coming or something was wrong. When I tell you, she found the husband. No, the husband wasn't doing the bending. He was the bender. Wait, he was the doer. And the doee was the husband's boss. Needless to say, the husband's boss had brought the wife. They've had like, you know, like family meetings where all their kids have met. They were such close friends. But for her to come and find out that her husband was having sexual relations with his boss, she told me like she's never been the same ever since that day. And you can imagine, because they had a whole 2 kids, boy. See, that would crush me. That would crush me, and I don't even know who I would trust. You know, it's one thing when you find, you know, your husband cheating on you with a woman, because it's like, you know what, you can keep it in your pants. But cheating on you with another man when it's been decades? Baby, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And then I watched this video on TikTok. You know how TikTok has those trends? Me, I love TikTok, by the way. Hey, but it takes so much of my time. It's kind of like a trend. And then everyone was just talking about, like, these women were talking about, you know, their experience with dating men who are on the DL, down low. DL means down low. And then this one girl was saying how she thought her man was kind of like, you know, like nothing she would do. Like, the man loved her. She had never doubted that. But then it's like, nothing she did as a woman was like, you know how you wow a man as a woman? Nothing she ever did wowed her man. Even though he was a great man, he was providing, he was making sure she's good. Like, he loved her, genuinely cared about her. But he really never got wowed by anything they did. And every time they would sleep together, he would just be like, now that she said, like, looking back at it, it was like he was done with his task. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so she started doubting, but she's never doubted. You know, most of us women, maybe, we think like gay men, you know, they are just like feminine. Oh, you know, no. I have gay friends who are like 100% like gay. Like, if you see them without knowing they're gay, they get a box very fast. Now the question is, like, for the single women like me, yeah, who's out here dating, how do you know whether a man is gay or not? You know, what can you do? I don't know, girl. Okay, I'm looking out for myself. Yes, I want to make sure I don't meet a guy who's on the down low and try to, you know, date me just so he looks normal in society. Baby, we're not going to do that. And if you do that to me, we're going to have to get square up. Because I'm not living without a fight. Unaniwestia time, excuse me. But also at the same time, I can't help but think, like, how do these men, like, what these men have to go through to pretend that they are who they're not? Because I believe it's all society. It's the families and the society in general. Because you don't want people to think of you as, you know, I don't know. It must be so hard for them to go through that. Can you imagine getting a wife when you know damn well you don't even like that? You like the other one. But you got to do that oh, boy. That's just like being in prison. Anyway, guys, we have come to the end of the video. The light is so weird. So that's how the makeup turned out. I went a little heavy on the blush because, you know, I was going for that look because of the top. I don't know what kind of... Listen, I'm just doing whatever works for me. Do whatever works for your house. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed my story time. Let me step back because this light is killing me. If you've had similar experiences or like dating someone who said they were who they clearly were not, drop that down in the comment section. And as always, guys, nawapenda sana. I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah, 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 mwah.